Well, I'm here again during one of my breaks. I wanted to come and talk to you under my stand relationships. That's something from Fordo's Productions. I'm Anita Helm. And how I ended up coming on today, I've always had these conversations with random people. And in their discussions, they start to talk to me about circumstances going on in their lives. And as I listened last night, I said, it's time for me to start sending out some of the marriage in the checkout line videos that have been produced 2 or 3 years ago and start to give some kind of context for why I'm sending them out. So, and today I wanted to call this outsider looking in. The reason why for the offerings that I have under Fordo's Productions, my company, I have stand relationships, and it's because at one time in the past, I was so focused on the fact that I kept seeing so many long term married couples actually just falling apart. Well, in the near term, in the last year or so, with me becoming a new widow who's a single person, I have been observing things, ladies, and I say ladies because I'm a woman. I don't know how to tell you how to be a man, but I can tell you a little bit about being a woman, at least for what I know of it. Well, I had not had the appreciation of something that I have learned in the last more than 12 months of being a single woman. No, I'm not using the match.com and Crystal Mingle and all that stuff that people may say. I'm really trusting the Lord to know all of these billions of people in this world, and whoever the Lord has fashioned for Anita Helm in this season, that's who it'll be. And I have to be uh, gracious and wait for the Father for who He's going to send. So that's on up front and out there. But I did not realize that in me doing so much study and preparation for relationships, I have the opportunity to look at videos of Christian couples, whether they're in ministry or there's couples teaching on the subject. But most of them are Christian ministers, husband and wife teams. And I start to smile and I ask myself internally, why are you smiling? Well, one thing is, I had the privilege of having a wonderful relationship with the late William Helm. And people used to always come up to us and say, "Are y'all newly married?" As though, I don't know. I don't know if I looked younger, he looked older, and they thought it was a new thing, but we were almost 25 years in. And so they kept asking this question. But as I watch these videos, I smile because I see the kinship, the love, the companionship, the collaboration, the working together in ministry, not in disharmony or being fake or trying to be something they're not, but that they genuinely love one another's companies and their friends. And so I thought as I watched and I start smiling, I smile because I'm excited to know that I've had that experience, and Lord willing, I'll have it again. But I also am thinking all those years that I wondered why people kept looking at us and coming up to us after my husband, my late husband, and I. And I figured out what was going on is that when women, especially single women, divorced women, widowed women, whatever the category is, there's something about seeing hope, visually having hope, that there are people, men and women, who can love one another as Christ loved the church, as the Lord talks about in the Word of God, not in a churchy way, but in a genuine, I'm being real, you're being real. We understand each other has faults, but we love one another, and we have God in the middle of us, and we're just going to make it through day to day. Well, the reason why I've shared that I wanted to do stand relationship, I said, but another reason is that I think you have to appreciate something about, I feel like I'm going full circle. I started out as a young girl wanting to be in a relationship, whether the little girlfriend, boyfriend in high school and college. Well, I had that and I got married. I got divorced, learned from what I should have known in that first marriage and that first looking and trying to have that, got remarried. Wonderful, almost 25 years, 23 years married, and 2 years in getting to know one another. And then find myself as a widow and a new single woman and having to start that process again. But I think that in the offering of stand relationships, that there's something in my understanding of what God sees and wants in the relationships. And even as I'm in the waiting mode, waiting on God mode, I just wanted to share with you that are finding yourself in this position of maybe you're in a situation where your relationship is kind of going sour. there are still things that God can do in that situation. And I believe that I have some insight in that. I also believe that if you're in the mode that you're looking for somebody or engaged or newly married, or you're in the widowhood, I believe that God has something that He can put in my heart to share with you, because this is rough. It's not easy, but Satan wants to really derail a lot of us when it comes to relationships. So I just wanted to come on for just a handful of minutes. If you see, I'm very different in the sense of what I do for Milkshake Monday for 45 minutes and in front of a camera all fancy versus when I do some of these shorter time frames, just to get you to know who I am so that we could come to an understanding of my intention is to help people. I don't know it all. Lord knows I don't know it all. And I go through struggles like everybody else, but I can tell you now, with a person that's been inside, I've been the insider, but now I'm outside looking in, and still in both phases I can say that God is faithful. And if you hear nothing else from me tonight, know or understand that God is faithful. So, from the outsider looking in to wherever position you are, I just wanted to say, keep hoping. It's okay to long and want and desire, but trust God. Let God be in the beginning, in the middle, and in the duration of your seeking and wanting what is in your heart. He knows your desire, but your desire first needs to be about having a relationship with Him, because in reality, it says when two become one flesh. And if you're broken and you're hurt and you haven't recovered, you're not bringing in a whole person. You're bringing in a broken person. And that's not going to be for good, for anything for you or your person who may become the lover of your life or your kids potentially. So I pray that get to know who you are first and get to know the Lord. But I hope that you'll give Stand Relationship a try. You can reach us at www.4doesproduction.org. That's 4Does Production. God bless you. I'm Anita Helm. Take care.